Okay, boys and girls, I'm at the beautiful Bel Air Market, Bel Air Bluffs, Florida. There's a great cafe here, right next to the Bel Air Cafe. But in these days, I have been inspired by the birth of a child and a very hardworking mother. And what we've got is a simplistic teaching for the whole family. When I was a child, nobody taught me the proofs of Jesus, and I just wandered away from it all. So here we go. Here's the fun family study. 3 proofs, 3 transfers, and 4 powers. Could be 5 powers. We might shift it to 5 powers. 3 proofs, 3 transfers, 4 powers for Leia's family. This study is dedicated to the life and future of Emmanuel Samuel. I have never in my life been close to a pregnancy and basically been around as a witness. Okay, it's not very complicated at all. Here we go. 3 proofs, 3 transfers, 4 powers. All right, here we go. 3 proofs. Number 1, predictions. 200 to 300 predictions set in writings, stretched across 1,000 years, written by 30 people that didn't even know each other. All came true in one human being. There is no human being in all history that even claims to have 200 to 300 individual predictive points that all point to his life. And the scriptural reference is 1 Corinthians 15. All these things of Messiah happened as predicted, according to the scriptures, according to the scriptures. The emphasis is this all happened just as it was written before, as predicted. That's the number one over the top, amazing proof. Number 2, eyewitnesses to resurrection. Again, in 1 Corinthians 15, the super rabbi, the wise scribe guy, says if he did not resurrect, then I am wasting my life, risking my life. The guy's beaten almost to death 3 or 4 times. So, we like to say it's hard to prove resurrection sitting right here in 2022, but he clearly was a public figure, publicly executed. He was killed while many people were watching, and then he is rumored to have been seen by many people across 40 days, including 500 people at once. That's the rumor. If he didn't come back from the dead, who cares? But if he did come back from the dead, we should probably review the things that he said in order to live a safe life and have a safe afterlife. If he did resurrect from the dead, we better follow his instructions. And this fulfilled prediction thing proves that there is a force or a power or an entity or a spirit over all of these writings. These writings have been strangely preserved. Okay, predictions, resurrection. And then the third one is supernatural powers. Supernatural powers. Ability to multiply food, change the weather, walk on water. He had the ability to defy gravity And he went into town and he healed all the sick and every person that had personality disorders. He kicked the spirits off of people. So he was doing two things: healing and getting rid of the spirits that cause insanity, mental illness, craziness. Those were the primary supernatural powers, and the ability to have power over demons was the most important thing to the Jews. That was the solid amazement, power over bad spirits. But then, it's one thing to have supernatural powers, but then he could transfer his supernatural powers into ordinary, unenlightened people. And that's been going on now for thousands of years. Ask for the Holy Spirit to fill you. Ask for the power from on high. Ask for the peaceful heavenly power to fill you. And then in Acts chapter 8, we see that the sorcerer, the one who knows spiritual powers, sees that the sent ones, the ones that had been with Yeshua, have the ability to actually put and transfer Jesus' supernatural powers into ordinary people. And that sorcerer, that famous fancy guy, was amazed. He was amazed. Supernatural powers, especially the power to transfer his power into other people. Now, 3 transfers in the New Testament. 3 stories of powers being transferred. Number 1, Jesus transfers the powers into the 12. Number 2, Jesus transfers the powers into the 70. And we're going to put the references here, and we're going to read some of these things. They're neat. It's really neat. Nobody ever showed me this stuff. Nobody ever put this in front of me. And my mother had the power of Jesus transferred into her, and people in the church hid this information. I didn't find out my mother had gotten these powers when I was 4 years old. I didn't find it out for 37 years. And this is why I do not trust ordinary church atmospheres and church people. They're nice people, but they actually may be running forward, missing some of the most important points. Then, after he went away, he poured his powers out on the 120. These 2, he put 3 powers on them, but then the 120 got those 3 powers plus a 4th power. Here we go. 4 powers. Power to heal the physical body, power to remove spirits that are troubling the mind and emotions and willpower. And then the power, the heavenly power, to speak about the friendship of God, to speak about the way of life that Yeshua taught, urging people to accept, hey, if you try doing things this way, things will go better for you. If you try doing things by God's way of life, things will go much better for you. You'll be able to rest better. It won't be always easy, but your inner life will be much better and your afterlife will be glorious. Urge people to accept God's way of life. And this is a supernatural power. This is a power that comes from the Holy Spirit. But then, after he went away, when he poured out the Spirit on the 120, they also got power number 4, the surprise language. Wowie, wowie. The surprise language. I think we're going to have to turn this into 5. We're going to have to add the raise the dead to this one. Raise the dead. And then this is number 5, the surprise language. The surprise language strengthens you. The surprise language surprises people when they hear their own language. The surprise language is used during intimate church gatherings. And the surprise language also comes with the gift of interpretation of tongues and languages. So, there it is. For Leah and family and Sammy and Emmanuel, 3 proofs, 3 transfers, and 5 powers. Yahoo! Yippee, yippee, yippee.